for joining me for yoga today. My name is Kirsten, and if you have been taking class with me from home these past couple weeks, you may have noticed last Tuesday's class didn't post to YouTube. There was something that happened with my video, so I'm hoping that this week's class will be successful and that you'll actually be able to do yoga along with me. For today's practice, if you have blocks or something that you can use like a block, you might want to keep those handy near your mat while you're doing your yoga class. And I also have a disc. It's just like a sliding disc for the floor. So this is just so that we can glide for certain poses. And if you have like socks or a towel to slide on your floor, or if you're on carpeting, maybe a paper plate would work, you can grab something so that you can use that later during our practice together. So getting everything you need. Come on up to the top of your mat, spread out through your toes. Find your feet. You can start rolling the shoulders back. And just thinking about maybe setting some intention for your practice today. Start to slow yourself down a little bit with that breath. Start to feel the mat beneath your feet, spreading out through those toes, activating through the legs a little bit, spiraling the thigh bones inward in the hip sockets. Let those arms rest at your sides. Let the shoulders rest away from the ears. We're lifted up tall through those bandha muscles. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, press through the palms, get a little bit taller, just finding those posture muscles, finding where you're at today. Exhale, pressing through, just allowing yourself to be present on your mat with your breath, with your practice. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dive down, long spine. Find a forward fold. And just hang out in your forward fold for a little bit. If you like bringing a block over to bring that floor up, you can take that where you need it. If you need to kind of sway a little bit. Arms are heavy and loose. Let gravity work on your body. Feel those hamstrings start to unwind. Spread out through those toes. On your next inhale, inhale halfway up, long spine. Exhale, back down, all the way back into that forward fold. Arrive at the bottom of your pose. Inhale, all the way up, lifting tall. Exhale into your mountain, really open across those shoulders. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, diving down, long spine, back into your forward fold, just letting those hamstrings unwind. Inhale, envision your spine getting taller. Exhale, feel the torso sinking closer to the legs. Feel the backs of the knees extending to the wall behind you. You can hold those elbows if you like. Begin to relax the muscles in the face. Maybe hold the backs of the legs. Whatever kind of forward fold that you need. One more breath here, nice and big into the belly. Releasing any hold you might have. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, all the way up. Firming up through those feet, through those legs. Exhale to your heart center. Pressure in the hands to draw that midline to remind you where those bandha core muscles are. And back into your mountain. So if you're not at the top of your mat, come on up to the top. We're going to keep going with a full sun salutation. Spreading out through your toes. Rolling back through those shoulders. Inhale up. Exhale and dive down, long spine. Drop the chin. Inhale, halfway up. Exhaling back down, taking your right foot, a giant step back, floating into a tall lunge, and just taking some time to find that lunge. Find where your hands might need to be to keep a straight spine. Settle those hips in. If you need to do a little bit, taking those hands wider to your fingertips, you can take a little right to left sway. Just letting that hip open up. Inhale that spine tall. Inhale back, pushing through that back foot. Feel even pressure in your front foot. Take a big inhale, extend your front knee just for a moment. Exhale back all the way down to the mat. Flatten through the back toes. Inhale, lift up into a low lunge. So finding the height in your spine first. And then if you have room to lean the shoulders back and keep lifting through your heart, you can go for it. Breathe into the belly. Tailbone tucks under. Glide your weight forward in the lower body as you lean the shoulders back and lift up through the heart. One more breath. Exhale your hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes under. Stepping into your plank on your toes or on your knees. Spread the fingers out really, really big. Pushing through the palms. Pressing your whole body away from the ground. As you exhale, feel the navel pull up into the body, nice and strong. Find that mountain posture. Lots of space between the ears and shoulders. And on your next exhale, slowly come down in chaturanga all the way to your mat, flattening through the toenails. Inhale, peel up, baby cobra. And you can either keep your hands down or float your hands next to your body. Really rolling the shoulders back and open, reaching back through the toes, activating that low back. And just feeling your neck as a natural extension of your spine. One more breath. Exhaling down, plant your palms next to the ribs, tuck the elbows in, press up any amount to your cobra. Mindful of that low back vertebrae. Back through the toes, forward through the heart. And your neck is just neutral to your spine. If you'd like to take the gaze up and it's okay with that neck, then go for it. Breathing into the belly. Even out the pressure in your fingers from your pinkies to your thumbs. Inhale your toes under. Exhale, shifting back into our first downward dog in the morning. Feel where you're at. Pedaling out those heels, just easing yourself into that downward dog. Feeling the backs of the legs start to unwind. Reach up strong through the sits bones. You can always come to your downward dog as a resting posture. If downward dog is too much, you can always take a child's pose. Settle those heels. Feel where you're at here. Fan the sits bones open as the thigh bones spiral in. Heart melts down between the shoulders. Take one more breath. Big expansive breath. Exhaling, eyes look forward. Breathing that right leg back up. Stepping into a forward fold. Relaxing your upper body, spreading out those toes. Inhale all the way up, strong through the legs, strong through the arms. Exhale to your heart center, finding that tall mountain. Take a minute, check and see how your weight is sitting on your right and your left sides, how your arms are sitting. Just taking a moment to kind of figure out where you're at. Activating those legs, inhale up. Strong through the arms, exhale to dive. Dropping the chin, inhale halfway. Exhaling back down. This time that left side floats back, big extension into that tall lunge. Figuring out hand placement. Long reach back through that back foot. And if you'd like to take it out wide with those hands and just shift right and left, a little sway. You can take that body weight to the right and left. Just letting your hip warm up a little bit and open a little bit more. Bringing it back to a centered lunge, keeping even pressure in the front foot. Inhaling as you extend really long. Exhale your back knee all the way down. Flattening through those toenails. Inhale up into your low crescent. Finding that lifted heart, lifted rib cage. Tucking the tailbone under, gliding the weight forward into the front foot. Leaning the shoulders back, heart reaches to the ceiling. Lots of good breath into that low belly, into that left hip. Big expansive breathing on your next exhale, releasing that down. Tuck the toes, step into your plank. Toes or knees, spreading out through the fingers. Again, keeping your hands really big and active. Creases of the elbows spin forward. Feel that really strong core activation. Belly button pulls in, wide band of muscles, cinches in tight. Take a deep inhale. Exhale down into chaturanga. Inhaling into your cobra. Sending the heart forward. Keeping the pressure in the hands even. Inhale your toes under. Exhale back into your downward dog. Finding where you're at. Second one of our practice. Long, strong extension in those arms. Feel the connection of the fingers, the undersides of the knuckles to the mat. Reach those arms up toward the ribs. Reach the ribs toward the hips. Reach the hips up to the ceiling. One more breath here. Eyes looking forward. Breathing that left leg up into your forward fold. Spreading out through the toes, relax the upper body. Deep inhale all the way up. So strong into your mountain. Any way you want to land there. And hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer. So we're going to continue. Building from our sun salutation. Spread out through your toes. Lift up through those kneecaps. Roll the shoulders open. Deep inhale up. Exhale, diving down, long spine. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhale, right foot takes a giant step back into your plank. Taking a breath here. So you can either maintain your plank, or if you are wanting to move with this, keeping your hips low, stepping forward right and left, and then back, and then left and right. Belly button pulls in. So imagining you have a tray on your back and you're trying to keep it level. Lots of good breath, stabilizing through the shoulders. Breathing through here, feeling those core muscles activate. Whatever you need, one or two more times to get yourself all balanced out. Right into a downward dog. Taking a breath here. Sliding into your plank one more time. And then you can go one arm at a time, or you can try and go both arms into a dolphin. Forearm plank, and then shifting back, tiptoe those feet in, dolphin, downward dog. So your arms are parallel to each other, and you're using your arms and your forearms and wrists and hands to slide your nose toward your toes. Take another breath here. And activate through those hands. We're going to slide right forward into a plank chaturanga. So trying to keep that bend in the elbows. Tough step into your downward dog. And from here, inhaling that right leg up. Exhale, stepping forward and through. Planting your back foot in a warrior stance. Inhale up into warrior one. So hips and shoulders turn to the front edge of your mat. Lift up through the heart. Remember that you can change your stance at any time to make sure it's going to work for you today in your practice. So we're lifting up. We're anchoring strong through that back leg. Shoulders are down. Heart lifts. Taking one more breath here. Exhaling down into your lunge. Stepping back, moving through your asana. Lots of flow here. Deep inhale, exhale through. Big inhale up. Exhale back into your downward dog. Eyes looking forward, stepping or hopping into a forward fold. And releasing those arms. Relaxing the head and neck, spread out those toes. Inhale all the way up, lifting tall, build up your spine. Exhale to your heart center, bringing those hands to the center of your chest. Using that pressure in the hands as a reminder to zip up and to find that engagement in your core. Feeling very warm, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so keeping that posture tall. Lifting up, activating the legs, spiraling the thigh bones in. Take a deep breath up. And exhale to dive down. Dropping the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhaling back down. Left leg takes that giant step back. Finding your plank. Pressing through the palms, really big in those hands. Taking a breath here. Moving through your chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra. Exhaling to your downward facing dog. And from here, taking it right back into your plank. Down to the forearms. Finding that forearm plank for a moment. And then shifting it back right into your dolphin downward dog. Tiptoe those feet in. Letting those heels melt. Getting the forearms parallel to each other. Even pressure all the way down through the forearms, through the wrists, through the fingers. Let those heels melt as you press back toward your feet with your face. And then going right into our chaturanga. Pressure through the palms. Sliding forward. Keeping that 90-degree bend. Inhale up. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Left leg inhales way up. Exhale, steps through, plants for warrior one. Inhaling up. Finding that lift. Shoulders melt down the back, heart lifts up. This time taking that right side body, turning forward. Remembering you can adjust your stance at any time. Hands can be where they need to be. Lots of good breath into that low belly. Heart lifts. Your gaze can be forward for stability, or you can be up at your thumbs with that drishti point, that eye point. One more breath here. Exhaling your hands to the mat. Stepping into your plank, take a deep inhale, move through that asana. Eyes looking forward, stepping or hopping. Find your forward fold. Inhaling all the way up, active through those legs. Exhale into your heart center. Back into your mountain. All right, so I'm going to continue with some big hip openers and some hamstring work. Top of your mat. Finding that strength to begin. Spreading out through the toes. Try to see a little bit of the mat in between each one of your toes. Take a deep inhale to lift. Exhale to dive. Inhale halfway. Exhale, stepping or hopping into your plank. Toes or knees. Take a breath. Move through that chaturanga. Inhale, up, cobra, upward dog if you're feeling warmer. Exhale into your downward dog. Navel pulls in. Inhale your right leg way up. Exhale, pull your knee toward your chin. Inhale, nice slow inhale, reach strong. Find that range. Exhale toward your right armpit or elbow. And again, inhale up toward the opposite elbow. One more time. Inhaling up, knee toward the chin. Inhaling up, big extension toward the right side. And once more to the left, rotating through. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, stepping through, planting your foot. Finding that warrior stance and cartwheeling up to warrior two. Sinking the shoulders down the back. Taking a moment, you can adjust your stance, turning the hips and shoulders, square to the long edge of the mat, so strong through those palms. Anchor through that back foot, finding the depth of your pose. Gazing down that front arm. Flattening and pushing through the palms, finding that wrist, pull the fingers back really actively. Big breath, exhaling to zip up. And then releasing that, going into a side angle. So you can go to your forearm here, tailbone is tucking under. You can go to a block at any height, or you can go to the mat. So we're still rolling the ribcage open. Take that arm and streamline overhead if you can, still rolling open in the ribs. Firm up through those legs. Take a breath. And if you want a core challenge, activate that core and reach with that bottom arm. And then back up to warrior two. Inhale up, catch that, turn your toes to the same direction. Exhale, sink to your other side. So you're putting your weight into the back hip, you're sitting back with the hips, putting it into the heel. And if you can, let those right toes pop up. Your hands are gonna do what they need to for balance. So getting as low as you comfortably can, your standing foot is flat. Inhale, stay nice and low, and exhale to the other side. So sinking your hips back, taking your time through. And this time coming over, bringing your hands to heart center. And we're just gonna pivot into a rotated lunge. Taking your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh bone. Reach back through that back leg. Reach tall through the top of your head. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Releasing that open, planting the left hand on your mat. Open your shoulders, stacking right over left. Big rotation, push back strong through that back foot. Getting tall from head to foot, getting tall from hand to hand. One more breath. Exhale down to the mat, step into your plank. Toes or knees, take a breath and move through that salutation, inhaling up. Exhale, bringing it back. Navel pulls in, eyes look forward, step or hop. Finding that forward fold, relax the head, the shoulders. Inhaling all the way up, building up that spine. Exhaling to your heart center. Oh, good job. All right, same thing on the other side. Spreading out through the toes. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, diving down, long spine. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step or hop into your plank. Toes or knees, take a breath. Exhale, move through your chaturanga. Inhaling cobra, upward dog if you like. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Left leg, inhales way, way up. Exhale, knee pulls strong to the chin, navel pulls in. Inhaling again, finding that range. Exhale toward that left elbow or left armpit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, across the body. And again, inhaling, finding that big extension toward your chin. And again, inhale, lift. Outside. One more time. Across. And this time, inhaling up, planting your foot. Finding a warrior stance, lining up that back arch of the front heel. Cartwheel up. Find your warrior two. Hips and shoulders turn to the long edge of your mat. Set the shoulders down the back. Gazing down that front arm. Finding the depth of your pose. So you're just settling into your warrior. Figuring out where you have a good stretch and good control. Keeping zipped up, so strong. And from here, inhaling up. Exhaling, sinking into the other side. Sitting low, letting those front toes pop up. Staying nice and low, shifting. Sitting back over the hips. Your arms are just a good counterbalance. Moving with your breath. Keeping that back nice and flat. Keeping that active lift in the spine to let those legs move freely. And then bringing it here, hands come to heart center, pivoting into a lunge. Taking that right elbow to the outside of your thigh bone, reaching back, tall spine, breathe, breathe, breathe. Reach back through that back foot, reach forward through the crown of the head. Not dumping that weight toward the mat, reaching it forward, reaching it back. And then releasing that, hand comes to the mat, open, rotate in that lunge, revolve. Stacking the shoulders, left over right. Getting tall from front to back, tall from hand to hand. And then bringing that back down. Stepping back into that low lunge. Sinking it over. And then backing up. Finding warrior two and a side angle. So tail tucks under. You could be on your thigh bone, on a block, on the mat, just figuring out where you need to be. Lots of good breath, opening those shoulders. If you can streamline that top arm overhead, roll the rib cage open. And if you want extra challenge, taking that back hand. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Bring that back up, warrior two, all the way down. Find your plank, move through your asana. Inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. Eyes look forward, step or hop. Relaxing the upper body, spreading out through the toes. Inhaling all the way up, building up through your spine. Rolling back through the shoulders. Oh my goodness, catch your breath. If you guys are really warm, awesome, good. We're gonna keep going. Top of the mat. Roll the shoulders open. Take a minute to just find that posture, find that lift through the heart, zipped up through the spine, those bandha muscles. Spiral the thigh bones in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and dive. Inhale halfway. Step or hop into your plank. Take a breath and move through that chaturanga. Inhale up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Right leg inhales. Now you can bring that knee straight to the chin, or this time you can take your knee toward your right elbow, or you can keep that leg straight and try and touch that right wrist with your toes. And this time bending the knee, trying to touch your left wrist with your toes. And if you don't all get there all the way, that's okay. One more time. Right wrist with the toes. And reach tall and left. And last one, stepping forward and through. Planting both feet, and you can grab a block if you like, walking it around to a wide leg stance. And from here, hands can come to the hips, lift up. You want to feel as if you are pressing your feet, super gluing them to the mat. And then at the same time, drawing all those muscles up toward the middle of the body, setting strong. We're going to hinge at the hip. So activate those legs, pull the kneecaps upward. Inhale to lift. Keep the legs active. Exhale, hinge forward, flat back. You can take those toes and point them forward. Reach through the fingers, back through the hips. And then exhaling, bringing your hands either to a block, or you can bring your hands to the mat. Keeping that spine really flat. If it feels better for you to take this wider, see how wide you can take this with good control. Back stays flat. If you'd like to take it to the forearms, take it to the forearms. Legs are active. You're still pressing the feet to the mat and pulling the muscles toward the middle of the body. If you'd like to take those hands between the feet, spreading out the fingers, maybe the crown of the head is going to rest on the mat, maybe not. If you want to walk your hands backwards, pointing those fingers behind you, you can crawl them back. You can rest the mind's eye on the floor in front of you. Keeping those feet active. Taking one more breath. Walking those hands up. You can walk those feet in a little bit if you need to. Soften the knees. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, lifting up. Turning the feet wide. Inhale, lift. Against a wall behind you, exhale, scrape into a goddess squat. So your knees are wide, natural turnout in your toes. Imagine you're touching the wall behind you with your hips, shoulders, back of the head, backs of the hands. Inhale, lift, push through the feet. Exhale, scrape the wall, actively squeezing through those shoulders. Inhaling, exhale, lifting through that heart. Push through the feet one more time. Stay nice and low. Inhale, tip. Exhale, navel pulls in to bring the ribs right back over the hips. Opening through those shoulders. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the mat. Stepping your back foot forward, up to meet the front. Relax through the head and the neck. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale to your heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale and dive. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhale, step or hop into your plank. Toes or knees. Take a breath. Exhale, move through your chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra or up dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Left leg this time. Inhales up. And you can take that knee and pull into the chin. And then going to the outside and inside hand, you can either keep the knee or you can flex that foot and try and touch your wrist with your toes. And bending that knee, trying to touch the wrist with your toes. And it's okay if you can't quite get there, but just trying to aim for that touch point. And you can keep it at a knee, or you can move to that straight leg. One more time, each direction. To the left hand and to the right. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, stepping forward, planting your foot. You can grab that block if you like. Walking it around to the side. Wide leg stance. Soften the knees, hands come to the hips. Coming all the way back up. You can roll those shoulders back and open. So your block can be there for you if you want, or you can just keep your hands to the mat. Inhaling to lift up, activate through those feet. Exhale, dive down, flat back. And then bringing that all the way down to the mat. You can take it wider if you'd like to challenge that stance. Still keeping your feet active, keeping your toes tracked forward, keeping the feet pressing down, keeping those leg muscles pulling up. And then if you have room to take it to the forearms, you can take it to the forearms. Reach back through the hips, reach long through the top of the head. If you have room to take those hands between the feet and plant the mind's eye, you can. If you have room to turn the fingers around, you can turn those fingers around. Keep that breath moving. Give your muscles some time with the pose. Bringing it back through, pressing up. Walking your feet in just a little bit. Softening through the knees, hands come to the hips. Inhale to lift. From here, rolling the shoulders open. Turning the feet out to a natural turnout. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sinking low into that goddess squat, just like you had on the other side. Open through the shoulders, roll them back and open. Press against that imaginary wall behind you. Working through that shoulder range. So inhale, open. Exhale, scoop through, hinge. Inhale, open. So just spiraling, scooping those hands forward, rotating through the shoulders. Find that big range in the shoulders and stay as low as you can in those legs. 3 more breaths. And 2, tracing an infinity sign on either side of your body. Last one. Legs are still active, bringing it all the way down, walking it around to a big lunge, stepping into your plank. Toes or knees, take a breath. Move through that asana. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Eyes looking forward. Step or hop. Find your forward fold. Take a moment, catch your breath, spread out those toes. If you need to just bend a knee, right and left. Let those arms get loose and heavy. And then rolling up, build up your spine, stacking the vertebrae. Rolling the shoulders open. Find your mountain. Oh, nice job. All right. Gonna keep going, working on building to our split today. And when I say splits, don't be intimidated by splits because I'm not in a full split. It's okay. You're just gonna be stretching yourself toward there, working on some hamstring flexibility. So here is where if you have that sliding, anything to help you slide on the floor in front of your mat, you can bring that right in front of your mat. And if you have blocks, I have a block at my house. If you have 2 blocks, even better. You can have those handy right near the top of your mat as well. So starting up at the top here, inhale. Exhale to heart center. Draw the midline of your body. Recenter all these muscles. Feel that zipped up feeling. Feel that symmetry from right to left. Legs are active. Inhale up. Exhale to heart center. Melt down to a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhaling down, taking that right foot back. And then just lowering down into a low lunge. So starting off here, you can have a block in your hand or in your hands. We're going to just shift our weight back, bending the back knee, sitting into our half split. So trying to keep the hips level. If you feel like one is higher or lower than the other, doing your best to keep them level. Reach the sits bones back. Reach the heart forward. Get tall through the top of your head. Take 1 or 2 breaths here into this hamstring that's lengthening. Again, trying to keep the right and left hip really even with each other. And then just shifting this forward. This is going to be maybe not so graceful. It's okay. We're going to get it forward so we can put our front foot on our sliding disc or whatever option you have. So making sure that that's a comfortable fit. And then from here, you can tuck those back toes under and find a low lunge. We'll start in a low lunge, and then you can just kind of play with your pose to see if you want to be in a low or a high lunge option. So this might be intense for you, and that might be your pose. You can also be right here on blocks. So as you feel ready, you can begin to glide that front leg forward. Find some extension. You can take a block and prop underneath your hamstring for support, if that's going to work. You can have that there for your hands, if that's going to help you. So you're going to find whatever works. Lots of breath. Give your muscles time to get some oxygen. Give them time to settle into your pose. Let that breath happen. If you want to play with the back foot, bringing this to a high lunge, low lunge, whatever gives you a good challenge, good control at the same time. Find the balance between that challenge and that control. Two more slow breaths, all the way into that hamstring. Send your breath low. And then to come out of this nice and slow, slowly sitting the hips back, bending that right knee. Bringing that into a child's pose. Sitting it back nice and easy. You can let those knees separate to create some room for your torso. Crawl the fingers forward, sit the hips back. If you need a little bit of a right to left sway, go for it. Taking a breath here, all the way down the spine, expanding into the low back, across the kidneys. Reaching forward, spreading out your fingers as big as you can. Feel like you're about to grab onto your mat. Activate those hands, tuck your toes under, and sit into a downward facing dog. And just pedal that out for a moment. And then take that right leg way up, stepping forward and through. Find your lunge on your right, with your right foot forward, lowering that back foot into a low lunge. So we'll start here in this low lunge, finding that pose. Again, you can have the blocks there if that is better, and you're going to be able to play around on this side of the body, which may be different from the other side and may not be. Play around on this side of the body to figure out where you're at. From here, shifting back, sitting the hips back into that half split. So again, you can have blocks here at any height to keep your spine straight, to help you feel like you can keep your hips level. Trying your best to level out through those hips. If you feel like you're shifting high-low, even them out. Reach forward through the heart, reach forward through the crown of the head. Sit back through the hips. Breathe into that right hamstring. We're pulling the toes back actively. Give your muscles some time with that pose, with that breath. Sitting your weight back. Using that left leg to control the descent of your hips so that you're not falling further than you have good control. And then slowly coming out of that, taking this forward. So again, just taking some time to set this up, bringing that sliding disc or whatever you have to help out with your split. Forward. And then finding your back foot, kind of playing around with your pose for your low lunge. So again, if this is it for you, if this feels really intense, then just hang out here. And if you feel ready, as you feel ready, you can extend that front foot. Lots of good breath here. Again, finding a hand position that might help. Remember, you can use blocks to help balance and steady yourself. You can take a block and place it underneath that hamstring to support if you need that. So figure out where you need to be on this side and just take some time to play around with your pose. Give yourself some time to let those muscles work with your breath. Back stays nice and straight. Breathe into that hamstring. Taking 2 more breaths here. So finding the intensity of that pose without it hurting and finding that edge. Bend your back knee to bring yourself back into your child's pose. Settling back over the heels. A little bit of right to left. Shifting of your weight. Nice work. Crawl those fingertips forward. Take one more breath all the way down the spine. And from here, tucking your toes under, planting your palms, extending up into your downward facing dog. And then eyes looking forward, you can step or hop your feet up, find your forward fold. Relaxing your head and your neck. Roll it on up. Lifting tall. Exhaling to your heart center. And into your mountain. All right, beautiful work. We're almost there. We have a little bit of balance work left. And then we're going to go from there. Using some of that hamstring flexibility into our balance pose too. If you like to have a chair or table or something to put your hand on while you're balancing, get yourself set up for your balance. Coming up to the top of your mat, inhaling to lift up. Exhaling, diving down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, step or hop into your plank. Take a breath here. Take a chaturanga push-up. Inhaling down, exhale, push right back up. Balancing on your right hand. You can either drop your right knee in a side plank, or you can stay to a straight leg side plank. Shoulders away from the ears. If you'd like to float that top leg, you can. And if you'd like, you can bend and catch that knee nice and wide. And if you feel like you can take your first 2 peace fingers and hook your big toe and extend long. So figuring out where you need to be. Taking this top foot, we're going to step it forward into a lunge. And if you can hold that big toe, go for it. And if not, you're just near your leg somewhere. Step your back foot forward into a forward fold. Still holding those toes. So you can take whatever, you can release that anytime you need to. And then if you can, either on a block or with your hand on the mat, taking that right foot, extending back, find warrior 3. 3-point stance or warrior 3. If this isn't stable enough, you can release that to bring your hand forward. And then taking that, stepping it forward, planting your right foot, pushing through the right foot, seeing if you can stand up, holding either your toe or your leg, finding your posture. Your free arm can stay in mountain, it can come up, hinging wide. And if you have room to extend, extending. And you can also just be holding above or below your knee, keeping that knee and ankle lined up. Good flexion in your foot. 2 more breaths. Bringing that forward. Standing tall, trying your best to get your shoulders over your hips. If you're leaning forward a little bit, your goal is to bring the shoulders over the hips. And then releasing that in and out. Nice work. You can sweep through your standing leg. Lots of hard work there. Good job. Bringing it back center. Spread out through your toes. Lift up through those legs. Roll open. Deep inhale. Exhale, diving down. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhale, stepping or hopping back into your plank. Taking a breath. Chaturanga push-up. Right back up into your plank. Left hand centers. Left knee or just onto your left foot. Finding your side plank. So strong. Option to float. Option to bend that knee. You can either catch your knee or you can take your 2 fingers and catch your big toe. And if you have room on this side to straighten and extend, go for it. Keeping yourself tall. And if you have those fingers hooked, you're going to take that foot, step it forward into a lunge. And you're still either hooking that front big toe or you're just holding your leg, doing what works, what feels like you have good control, taking that back foot, stepping forward. Finding your forward fold here. Getting balanced, finding stability. Planting your left hand either on the mat or maybe on a block. And then taking that left foot, extending back a little or a lot. 3-point stance like a warrior 3. Lots of good reach. If you need more stability and you need to let go of that right toe, you can release that hand at any time. Long, long, long through your back foot. then planting your foot, shifting your weight to your left foot, pushing through that heel to standing, either holding your big toe or holding your knee in some way. So here we're opening and hinging wide, keeping that knee and ankle lined up. And if you have room to extend, go for it. Lots of good breath. Trying to get the shoulders right on top of the hips. And then bringing it back forward so you can keep it bent. Or again, if you're holding your toe, you can keep it out. So strong. Lifting tall, actively pulling that kneecap up, pushing through your feet in both directions, and then releasing that out. Oh, nice work. Sweep through. So lots of really strong balance work and strength work. Nice job. Whatever you need to do to resolve those joints. All right, top of your mat, we're going to bring this down. Spread out through your toes. Roll open. Inhale. Strong breath here. Exhale and dive. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhale down into your plank. Right into your downward dog. Inhale that right leg way up. Exhale, draw that knee through, planting it for pigeon. So you have a straight line through your back leg, your trailing leg, and your foot is off toward your left hip. You can have your hands on blocks if that's better. Straight spine, lift up through the heart. Breathe in the belly. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And if you'd like to take this further forward, you can bring it to the forearms, surrendering forward in your pigeon pose. You can use a block to rest your head, or you can extend fully out. You can hold your head on the forearms, being kind to yourself through your pose. Lots of slow breath. Big expansion into the tighter parts of your posture. Start to relax the muscles in your face. And with every exhale, feel your body melt into the mat a little bit further, a little bit deeper. Still keeping that extension through the spine. And slowly releasing out of those, planting your palms in front of your face. Press yourself upward. Lift through the heart, take a breath. Planting the palms, tuck the back toes under, stepping into your downward dog. Just pedal that out a little bit, walk the dog. And this time taking that left leg, inhaling way up. Exhale, drawing that through and planting that front shin for your pigeon posture. Letting that back trailing leg go straight behind you. And your left foot is off toward your right hip. So again, you can have a block here or on both sides to bring that floor up a little bit if that helps your spine. Lift up tall through that spine, lean back. You can also take a block and support your hip if that feels a little bit better. Every person is strung up a little differently, so just pay attention to how your hips are feeling, how your muscles and joints are feeling. Lots of good breath here. And you can stay right here if you'd like to. You can surrender forward in pigeon pose to the forearms or fully out. Breathe into your posture, inhaling yourself tall through the spine. Exhaling, melting into your pose, melting into your mat. Giving your body time with that breath. Using the exhale to relax the muscles in the face,
Using the inhale to expand all the way into the belly. Feel that expansion move across the low back, into the hip, into the tightest parts of your posture. One more breath here. And slowly coming out, planting the palms right in front of your face, pressing up. Tuck your back toes under and shift into your downward dog. And again, just pedaling that out, letting your legs equal out. Strong through the arms. Rolling through those feet. I'm just walking up, relaxing into a forward fold, beginning at the navel, draw the belly button in, begin to build up your spine, one vertebrae at a time, using those core muscles to stack up into a tall posture, eventually letting that neck stack, letting the shoulders roll open, arms hanging evenly at your sides. So we're going to bring this to our mat to finish. And if you have a sweatshirt or socks or anything to keep your body temperature in a good spot, you can take a minute and get something to keep that body temperature in a good place. And you've done so much breath and body control in the last hour. And so at this point, all we have to do is just rule out what doesn't feel like it's completely resolved yet. So you can rule out the rest of your joints with me, or if you need to do something else for your muscles or your limbs, you can do what you need to do as well. Make sure you have room behind you on your mat. Just roll yourself down. Take a moment to get your shoulders beneath you, your hips settled. Draw those knees in, roll it out right and left. Let your elbows just be your stoppers. And then bringing that center, hands on top of the knees, stir the thigh bones, make circles around your tailbone. And go the other way. And bringing that center, butterfly circles, and you can release those legs if you'd like a bigger circle, a bigger range. Other way. Anything else you need to do to resolve your body. Get settled for a brief Shavasana. Allowing your body to relax onto the mat, releasing any muscle tension that you're still holding. And just softening that tension away from your body as you breathe, softening through the scalp and the forehead, softening the muscles in the face, letting the jaw relax. Feel the shoulders and the arms grow heavy as you exhale. Softening all the muscles away from the bones, from the shoulders, all the way down through the elbows, wrists, and fingers. Arms just sink into the mat at your sides. Notice how your breath moves through your torso. And use your exhale to sink your body into the floor, into the mat beneath you. Releasing any muscle tension that you're holding. Let the legs rotate in their sockets to a natural position, fully relaxed position. Big toes falling away from each other. Softening all the muscles away from the bones, from the hips down to the knees, down to the ankles. Releasing tension from the feet. Feeling the spaces in between your toes.
And let your breath deepen. Let it wash over you from head to toe. Allow your breath to deliver the oxygen to your muscles, bringing fresh air into your body, breathing out the old stale air. Let it wake up your limbs, your muscles, your hands, your feet. Feeling that rejuvenation in all your limbs as you breathe in that fresh air. And still keeping everything loose and heavy, draw your knees up. Extend the right arm overhead. Gently roll yourself onto your right side. Take a moment here. And as you feel ready, gently press yourself up. Have a seat, sitting comfortably. Lift up through your spine. Feel the arms still heavy and loose. Lots of space between the ears and shoulders. And just take a moment to acknowledge your accomplishments with your practice today and the challenges that you rose to meet. Take a moment of gratitude for the time you took for your practice today. Take a very full breath. Let it go. Matching your hands, bringing them together to your forehead for good thoughts, to your lips for good words, to your heart for good deeds. Take one more full breath. Letting you go. Namaste.